Now to our other top story, new developments into that jet crash in the Imperial Valley that destroyed 3 homes, as well as another jet crash that occurred off the coast of Coronado hours later.
Incredibly, nobody was hurt in both incidents.
We have team coverage. Bridget Naso is here now to explain more on how military investigators are analyzing these jet crashes.
And Vanessa Harrier is live in Imperial Valley, where she spoke to one family really thankful to be alive. Bridget, let's begin with you.
Well, Mark, military investigators are at the scene at this hour of that Harrier jet crash out of MCS Yuma, collecting data to determine what caused that plane to go down in a neighborhood in Imperial. It is the second time that they've responded to a Harrier jet crash out of the air station in Yuma in less than a month.
This is what it looked like moments after impact, flames engulfing the AV-8B Harrier jet as it crashes into homes in Imperial. Minutes later, bystanders come to the rescue of the pilot, who has ejected and survived. As the U.S. military begins its investigation, the interview with that pilot is critical.
Sounds like he was dealing with some sort of aircraft mechanical problem. So now he can tell them what he was dealing with, what indications he had in the cockpit and what he was doing about it, until he felt like it was time for him to eject.
After he ejected, he was taken to the hospital. Former Air Force aviation accident investigator and pilot and now consultant Rich Martindale says his medical and training records will be looked at. Also, a Field Naval Aviator Evaluation Board and or Field Flight Performance Board will look at the actions of the pilot and, if warranted, whether the aviator should continue to fly. Another investigation, the Aircraft Mishap Safety Investigation, will search for the cause. Martindale says that would also include mechanical records and data collected from communication with air traffic control.
At some point in time, something started to happen with the airplane, he would declare an emergency with air traffic control, tell him what his problem is, where he wants to go, what he wants to do.
A JAGMAN investigation looks for a cause, responsibility, and damage assessment. In the case of the Harrier and Imperial, the homes, 2 destroyed and 1 heavily damaged, the street and other damages, and the plane. And in the case of the FA-18E Super Hornet off the USS Carl Vinson, the $55 million jet was the loss. In both Harrier crashes from Yuma, the jets were a total loss as well, but there has been no loss of life. The commanding general of the 3rd Aircraft Wing, Major General Stephen Busby, released this statement, quote, "We are committed to a thorough cleanup of the crash site and will continue our remediation efforts until the area meets standards set forth by the county's Department of Environmental Health. We greatly appreciate the community's patience and understanding during this difficult time."
And as you can imagine, these investigations take time. We still don't have word on the cause of last month's Harrier crash in Arizona out of MCS Yuma. The jets at MCS Yuma also were grounded for the day today. No word on if they will be in the air tomorrow. New at 6 o'clock, a closer look at how mechanical records are looked at in investigations like these. Bridget Naso, NBC 7.
Thanks, Bridget. In the first crash in the Imperial Valley, nobody was injured, but the family whose home was hit by the jet says they wish the military would not fly over homes. NBC 7's Vanessa Harrier is live in the Imperial Valley now with more. Vanessa?
Well, neighbors tell me that there were kids outside playing and 2 people actually inside the home. And take a look, you can see just how far the debris went flying. Neighbors tell me it's truly a miracle. Nobody got hurt. Investigators are assessing the damage to figure out what exactly caused the Harrier to go down. The pilot safely ejected and nobody on the ground was injured, but as of right now, 3 homes are considered a complete loss. Marina Mendeville and her husband were inside the home when the jet crashed. I talked to neighbors, some who have lived in the military's flight path for years, and people like Leonardo Olmeda, who shot this video, says he trusts the military and isn't worried about his family's safety. But Mendeville feels differently.
I like the idea of them flying and flying and flying, like they're playing around, you know, I don't know what they're doing, and it takes forever, the helicopter, especially because they're slow. And I said, what are they doing, especially at night? You know, and you think about it, and everybody's afraid now. Everybody's afraid.
Now in the distance, you can see lots of military uniforms around the crash site. They're keeping the area clear as they continue to investigate, and then eventually they'll begin to clean up the debris. Reporting live in the Imperial Valley, Vanessa Harrier, NBC 7.
Vanessa, thanks a lot. The Navy